6 minutes to 8, you're watching The Great British Breakfast. Now, new research has found 30% of people in the UK say a friend or family member drinks more than they used to before the pandemic. Help Me Stop, one of the first drug and alcohol programmes to offer intensive treatment online, says almost a quarter of people know someone struggling with an alcohol addiction. As it's Alcohol Awareness Week, the centre also wanted to warn against using the term functional alcoholic, saying it's a myth to suggest someone can continue to function well while struggling with a drink dependency.
Well, we're joined now by the Director of Admissions at Help Me Stop and also recovered alcoholic Chris Love, whose Stay Hub programme has a higher success rate than other types of treatment. Thank you very much for joining us. Where has this term, functional alcoholic, come from, and why have you got problems with it? Why do you think in practice actually that just isn't ever possible?
Good morning. We feel that the term functioning alcoholic is a misnomer. It can be quite dangerous in as much as the belief that by continuing to work, pay the bills and maintain the appearance of normality can actually feed into people's belief that everything is okay.
Can you spot someone who says they're a functioning alcoholic?
Very much so, very much so. In fact, the majority of people that we work with are still in that place whereby, to use a rather unpleasant term, the wheels haven't completely fallen off. And yet when we sit down and speak with them, it's apparent that their relationship with alcohol has become unmanageable. They break all sorts of boundaries that they've set in place for themselves, particularly over the last 18 months. That can include taking a drink earlier than they planned, drinking more than they set out to, and most importantly, when they honestly want to stop or bring about a change in terms of their relationship with alcohol, they are absolutely unable to do so.
What do you do if you have suspicions that that is your friend, your family member, your colleague?
The first thing to do is to talk to them gently and kindly rather than in an accusatory tone. We understand that alcoholism, which I know is a term that many people are uncomfortable with, is an illness rather than some sort of moral failing. So to show people compassion, understanding and love, and suggest to them that they may want to reach out and seek some support from an organisation such as ourselves. We absolutely understand. Most of the staff at Help Me Stop have their own personal experience as well as their professional experience to draw on. And we feel that we can connect with people who have a problematic relationship with alcohol in a way that other professionals simply cannot.
Particularly given your own experience, because you battled with this in, what, 2008?
Very much so, yes. For me, I ticked that box for many years of functioning alcoholic. I had a successful career, I got married at a young age, had a family, and from the outside looking in, everything was okay. However, it finally came to a point in 2008 where my relationship with alcohol was utterly out of control. And I was able to reach out and get some support. And my life is, from the inside out now, unrecognisable from that place.
Was that self-motivated in your case?
I was in a position whereby my hand was forced, to be honest with you. My partner at the time had left me. I was in a place whereby my attendance at work was sporadic, to say the least. And the physical consequences of my drinking were apparent. I was physically unwell. And thankfully, my GP was one of the few GPs who was able to recognise and see through what I was presenting to him. And that's another part of the issue here, is when we are presenting to medical professionals, we are often unable to connect with the truth about what's going on with our drinking. There's such a stigma attached to this illness, to this problem, and so much shame surrounding admitting that we've lost the power of choice over our drinking. We often present with symptoms that look like depression, look like anxiety, and we see so many people now who are misdiagnosed and are taking prescription medication for conditions it transpires that they don't have. Thankfully, that wasn't my experience, and my GP was able to suggest to me that I went and sought some help. And I was at a stage in my life where I grasped that opportunity, and I haven't looked back since.
We salute you for that. It's good of you to join us this morning. I wish we had more time, but we're out of time. Chris Love, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Don't forget, as ever, with all of the topics that we're covering this morning, you can get in touch with us. You can email us, gbviews@gbnews.uk. You can tweet us too, @gbnews.